All right, guys, welcome to the Digital Barbell Podcast. Thanks for being here. As always, thanks to those of you that take your time out of your amazingly busy schedule to listen to this podcast. Leave us ratings and reviews. We greatly appreciate it. For those of you guys watching on YouTube, you'll understand why things sound a little bit different than normal. We are sitting outside of our camper recording this episode outside so that we don't die in the heat of being inside with our air conditioner off. You're going to hear planes flying over. You're going to hear jet skis going by. You're going to hear RVs driving by our spot because we're just outside. Are we in Nashville or are we outside of Nashville?
Yeah, we're in Nashville.
Okay, we are in Nashville with our camper. We're got a little traveling vacation / work vacation going on here with some family, and yeah, that's the situation.
Yeah.
So please forgive the audio quality. We'll make sure the content is extra on point to make up for the change in the audio quality this week. Do you have a sponsor?
I don't.
This is not going to be a sponsor, but we might have a partnership with a company coming up that we're excited to announce in the near future. But
we just found out about this today, actually.
We'll leave it as a teaser.
I can't hear myself because I don't have my headphones, so I'm
Is it
very
weird?
thrown off. It's weird. I feel like I'm talking weird. Yeah.
You could hold that mic a little bit closer, or I can turn your volume up, one or the other. But today's episode is going to be something that was... We
didn't talk about the sponsor.
I don't have a sponsor.
Oh, you said the partnership.
Oh, no, I think let's wait until it's official, until we get all the paperwork done.
Oh, we just got everybody excited about it. I'm excited about it. Okay.
That's it's called a teaser in the game.
All right.
You now people's mouths are watering to know.
This is going to be a legit sponsor or partnership or something.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm excited. All right.
I am too. Is it couth to chew ice when you're recording a podcast? Okay, I'll spit it out. But the topic for this episode came up because I put something on Instagram on one of my days to post last week, and it got more saves and shares than just about anything that we've ever posted. So obviously the information was helpful to people. So I thought that we could run through the topic and maybe touch on each of the things in the post. Because really the post didn't go deep into anything as Instagram usually goes. It's just some information. But the slides that I made was 20 tips that make staying in shape easier. And then you swipe through and I gave 20 different tips that, like I just said, make staying in shape easier. This is not like a formula of what you need to do to get in staying shape. It's not like the recipe for abs or the recipe to get stronger. These are just things that I sat down and thought about. What do our most successful clients do on a daily basis? What do we do on a daily basis that takes the stress off of staying in shape? And these are common things that fall into that category.
And these are things that you do most of the time.
Yep.
Also,
I think in some of the feedback on the post, people would chime in and be like, wait, why would you say that? Is this bad? I'm like, you're missing the point. It's not about this one thing being bad. It's saying these things, if you do them regularly, consistently, will make staying in shape easier. So that's what we're going to get into. So without any further ado, let's get into number one. Eat the same breakfast with 25 or more grams of protein every day.
Check. So our breakfast every day quickly is oatmeal, 3 eggs apiece. We do that 6 days a week. And as you know, we do biscuit Sunday on day 7.
Yep. So 3 eggs a piece gets you about 18 to 20 grams of protein. Then by the time you add in the oatmeal, you're up over 25. And then we'll adjust that based on what our goals are. If we're trying to gain or lose weight, or if I'm getting sick of oatmeal and want to have breakfast tacos.
Sometimes we'll add a glass of milk.
Yes, a glass of skim milk is a great way. And there's nothing magic about eating the same thing every day. It won't increase your results just because of the macronutrient breakdown. But starting your day with a healthy serving of protein is going to help you stay full. It's going to get you out of that catabolic state from waking up fasted. It's going to stimulate muscle protein synthesis. It's going to start your day with a healthy decision. And there's no reason not to do it. And this is research-based as well.
And for both of these things, add salt. I think there's a lot of kickback on oatmeal and plainness. You don't need to add sugars to make it tasty, but you just need to add some salt. And we add salt when we cook each item. Add salt to the oatmeal. Add salt to the table salt, the bigger grains, to the eggs, and then
kosher salt. We use kosher salt. I even
sprinkle the pink Himalayan salt on top of both of mine, and we add a little bit of cheddar cheese to the top of the eggs. The whole breakfast is delicious, very tasty.
You made the oatmeal yesterday and accidentally forgot the There's the dogs in the background. I accidentally forgot the salt, and I can see why people hate plain oats. It's not good without the salt, so don't skip that. Okay, number 2, carry water with you. It's amazing how often you will be out and have no water, and because you don't have any water to drink, you'll stop and get something that doesn't line up with what your fitness goals and your health goals are. And because they're thirsty, they'll stop and get something at fast food. Just when, if they had some water with them, they would have been able to stay on track with their nutrition. Plus, just having a bottle with you. I've got my 20-ounce ice shaker here. You've got your fancy ass Stanley over there. It just makes staying hydrated easier. So carry water with you. In sight, you'll drink it. Out of sight, you will fail to drink it. Number 3, don't drink calories that aren't protein. The caveat with the protein part is because sometimes it's just convenient to have a protein shake to meet your goals or to take the place of a less nutritious snack.
Yeah.
And milk is a great option for getting protein in, and those are liquid calories too. The point is to steer you away from having juices, smoothies, they're just loaded up with added sugars and fruit juice, to steer you away from soft drinks, obviously, to steer you away from alcohol, obviously. So try not to drink calories that aren't protein. That's going to make staying in shape a lot easier.
Yep.
Number 4, never leave home without a healthy snack. Blakely is the queen of this one. I was really thinking about you when I wrote this one down. I mean, we'll be hiking, we'll drive 10 minutes from our house and go on a hour hike, and you've got snacks. Because you just never know.
I keep different snacks on hand to bring for different occasions. I think raisins are a great, boxes of raisins are a great little snack to have to, if you're just a little bit hungry and you feel like you need something to tide you over. And then I think some of things like Lara bars is a great, I call them a purse snack or a backpack snack. They don't melt. I like Lara bars because they have 2 ingredients, and most of them it's cashews and dates or something, depending on the flavor, maybe some blueberries thrown in there. They're super clean ingredients, but the bar stays intact when you're traveling. So some of these other bars that are made with a chocolate or things like that, they're going to have a ton of ingredients. They're going to have a lot more added sugars, and they can melt easily in your bags. So those are kind of my go-tos. And then we do the builder bars for if we're going on a road trip or something, we brought them for the car. It's a great way to just keep yourself full if you need, those are pretty high calorie, a 260 calorie snack. But those are kind of our
snack bars. We're going into that later.
Our go-tos right now.
The point is it stops you from having to eat food from a gas station or from a fast food joint. So
right. Also, another good thing to have on hand is for snacks is a peppermint. I'll usually keep a couple peppermints in my purse, and if you're just I need something, pop a peppermint in your mouth and
gum.
Yeah,
good tips. Okay, number 5, train in the morning. You will have better consistency.
Yep.
I don't know. We've talked about this many times, but our most consistent clients work out in the morning. If you're not lucky enough to have your gym in your office like we are, figure out the time of day that you can work out that will make you the most consistent. And even if it's not as convenient for you, you will get into the habit if you commit to it and stick with it for a few weeks. It will get easier over time. You got to get out of the loop of the I will try to fit it in later thing if you really want to get results.
Yep. When I was in the CrossFit gym, it was the morning crew that was so consistent. They were such a tight-knit group because they all showed up pretty much every day that I was open in the morning. The afternoon crew was not as consistent because things get in the way, as we all know. Something comes up, you have to stay late at work, someone has to get taken to practice, whatever it is.
The time snatchers.
Getting your workouts done in the morning is the best way to get it done consistently without anything else interrupting you.
You can do it. Commit to it. Number 6, lift weights 4 or 5 times weekly. This helps you stay in shape because if you're regularly lifting weights, you're burning more calories in the short term, which I know we're not going to try to exercise or work out to burn calories, but it's just the fact that your body is going to burn more calories because lifting weights requires more energy than just doing straight cardio. So that's beneficial for maintaining your results. Plus, in the bigger picture, lifting weights regularly builds your lean body mass, which keeps your metabolism high, which is especially important as you age to try to stay in shape without being as consistent as you might have to be if you were just doing 1 weightlifting session a week and 3 or 4 cardio sessions. You start missing those, you're not going to be building any long-term muscle mass, which is going to keep your metabolism high. So take that for what it's worth. Lift weights 4 to 5 times weekly. Okay, number 7, squat, bench, deadlift, and press heavy for you weekly. For you means relative to where your strength is right now. It's not about like seeing an influencer on Instagram squatting 3 plates on each side or deadlifting 4 plates on each side. It's about where is your strength level at. Make sure that you are lifting heavy for you every single week. And the reason we pick those exercises, squat, bench, deadlift, press, is because they are the compound lifts that use the most amount of muscle mass all at once. Basically, I've heard somebody say they're like the index funds of weightlifting. Like if you were to like get a diverse portfolio of index funds, you do the compound lifts that I just recommended, you're hitting pretty much everything just by focusing on those things. Kind of going back to why we lift weights is these compound movements done regularly are going to be the base of building your physical capacity of strength. So being stronger, building muscle mass by focusing on these big heavy lifts that you can load heavily are going to give you the biggest payoff in staying in shape with less effort. If you only focus on isolation stuff, if you're only doing cardio, it's going to be harder to stay in shape as you get older. Moving on to number 8, do hard cardio 2 to 3 times weekly. This is definitely something that we've changed our minds on over the last 10 years, because it used to be most of our fitness routine was doing hard cardio 5-6 times per week, and not a lot of what I just talked about with the weightlifting. So we've learned that doing hard cardio is still important for training your different energy systems, for keeping your capacity built up, for just giving you more energy in general, and for the mental benefits of doing hard things. But it's less important to have the majority of your training be that. You basically can still get the benefits of it with less volume than what we were doing previously. So doing some is still beneficial.
And mixing up the types of cardio that you're doing, making some long distance efforts, some medium distance efforts, and some short distance efforts on your cardio.
Amen. And we have other podcast episodes about that too. Scroll through our topics and dive in deeper if you really want to. Number 9, walk 20 minutes on purpose daily.
On purpose.
So this is not like, okay, start my stopwatch, walk to the bathroom, boom, there's 30 seconds. Walk back to my office, boom, another 30 seconds. This is like, put your shoes on, put a podcast in your ear, put nothing in your ear, and just spend time thinking about things in your life, and get out there and move your feet on purpose to try to get some activity in. This just keeps your metabolic rate high. It keeps your mental health active. It does burn calories. You might burn an extra 100 or 200 calories per day. But going back to the point of this whole topic is doing this regularly just makes staying in shape so much easier. Yep. It builds up this like reserve for you that like if you let's say we're on this trip right now and like we have our dumbbells here, we each did a little workout today, but let's say we didn't want to do that, but we went and got our 20-minute walk in. We would have like no impact. I would even go as far as to say if we didn't touch a single weight or a band or anything, but every single day we got out and did 20 minutes on purpose, we would see zero degradation of our fitness and our strength if we focused on getting our steps in every day.
And you just, I find myself, I just feel better when I do it. I'm just like, sometimes if I feel like we had a long car ride yesterday and I'm just like, I need to go walk.
Yeah.
There's something about it.
That's
like
all we did
outside
yesterday.
And walking in nature, I just feel better. It just like makes everything else, like any kind of stresses just fall away.
Yep. It is going to make staying in shape so much easier, guys. If you're not walking 20 minutes on purpose daily, and you could break this up into 2 10-minute walks
I've been doing 10 minutes before and 10 minutes after every workout just to like increase my steps, because we do walk on purpose other times. Like we'll take the dogs for a walk or we'll make ourselves do like a 30-minute walk or things like that. But adding these extra 10 minutes on either side of my workout has made a significant change in my steps.
Yep. All right, moving on. Do workouts this is number 10. Do workouts that you enjoy but are challenging. So you're going to have a better time staying in shape if you enjoy your workouts, because it's going to mean you don't dread every single one and you're going to be more consistent. And of course, being more consistent is going to make it easier for you to stay in shape. Now, the caveat here is there's a lot of things you could do that you enjoy but might not be that challenging. So the key in actually getting results and maintaining them and staying in shape is to make sure that you find the blend of something that you enjoy but actually, is going to make you stronger over time, is going to make you fitter over time. And we're not here to tell you exactly what that needs to be. It could look different for whoever's listening to this, but make sure that you're not just on cruise control every day, and that you do feel like you are pushing some kind of intensity in what you're doing. You might love going to a certain kind of class, but you kind of like plateaued after the first 3 months and you haven't seen any progress visually or in your fitness since then. That means it's not challenging anymore. So it's time to move on to something harder.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do a little plug for what we do, because I do think that our clients, they've signed up to do digital barbell programming because I do think that they enjoy it. Not that they look like get up in the morning and they're like, oh, I'm so excited to do my workout. They do find it challenging, but I do think that like the way that we write our programming keeps it enjoyable and different enough for our clients so that they can have some enjoyment out of doing the hard things that they're doing, because they even though they see a lot of the same movements, there's those finishers that are different. I switch up the movements that are different, and they can like find some enjoyment in the process. I truly believe.
Yeah, I mean, we typically have all of our clients' workouts in for the next week by Friday of the previous week. And I have clients that like to look ahead in the app and see what they've got on their calendar for the upcoming week. A lot of people are like, ooh, I'm looking forward to this one. And you're going to be a hell of a lot more consistent in working out if you're actually looking forward to your workouts.
Yeah, so. And I love hearing that. And a lot of people will say, like, I did really enjoy doing this finisher or doing this workout. I would like to try to do this one again sometime.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Okay, moving on to number 11. Don't snack on nuts or protein bars. This by far got the most pushback on Instagram. What's wrong with nuts? Protein bars are great. What's the deal? Mm-hmm. Let's go back to the point of this episode in that post. Here's 20 things that can make staying in shape easier. If you don't snack on nuts, you're going to have a much harder time gaining weight, for the simple fact that nuts are extremely palatable. That nice soft texture, that saltiness, maybe they're roasted in something, the mouthfeel of them, the fact that they come in giant quantities that you can just put in your mouth easily, makes them super easy to overeat. Mm-hmm. And they are so freaking calorie dense that if you get in the habit of snacking on nuts, there's a very good chance that they're going to lead to you gaining weight. I can remember growing up, my dad would always have bowls of pistachios laying around, or he would sit down with a bowl of pistachios and just eat them. And now that I have the awareness of what's actually in these nuts, I realize that it would be really easy to sit down and eat 1,000 calories, more than half a day's worth of calories, just in a single serving of nuts. I've done the same thing with cashews. I mean, who couldn't sit down and like, oh my gosh, cashews are so delicious. And then the thing with protein bars is we feel that protein bars should be used as any protein supplement, as a supplement to your normal nutrition, mm-hmm. when you're out of your normal routine and you don't have other options available. Yeah. Because almost every protein bar, and this was the point that I tried to make to somebody on Instagram, is probably going to have a lot of calories also coming from carbohydrates and fat. And that doesn't make them, quote, bad. It just makes them kind of a bad deal for getting a lot of your protein in, because you're getting all these tag-along calories mm-hmm. from carbohydrates and fat. Are they better than stopping for an In-N-Out burger? Yeah. Are they better than going through the Taco Bell drive-through? Yeah, but we try to use them sparingly because they're not a great deal for trying to be protein centric.
I mean, Epic bars or jerky is really the only protein bar out there that is like a true protein source. That's not a snack bar,
A chicken breast is the original protein bar.
But we eat the Builder bars, we eat the Lara bars when we're out of the house, when we're in occasions that we need to have that. We try not to make them a daily snack, and mm-hmm. I used to do that. Yep. But I've gotten out of the habit of making this just something that's in my routine daily, because if I'm at home, if I have choices, I can make myself a better quality snack.
And it's hard because like a delicious protein bar really does taste like a candy bar. Mm-hmm. So you're basically deciding like, I'm not going to eat this candy bar, and I'm going to make it, and I'm going to maybe even have to make myself something, like mm-hmm. get the yogurt out of the refrigerator, put it in a bowl, mix in some berries. It's more work.
It is more work, but also protein bars, they pack a big calorie punch, but they're also gone quickly. And that's one thing.
5 bites, boom.
Yeah, and then you're done, and you might still feel hungry in that moment.
Yeah, great point. All right, moving on to number 12. Include vegetables 2 or 3 meals daily. And I say 2 to 3 meals because I realize it's not always practical for people to try to eat vegetables for breakfast. Mm-hmm. You can mix them into an omelet, that kind of stuff, but nobody's really sitting down to a salad for breakfast.
Some people are.
Some people are. I would just say most people. But The reason including vegetables 2 or 3 meals per day makes staying in shape easier is because it takes the place of a potentially less nutritious, higher calorie food, which helps keep your energy balance in check, which helps staying in shape become easier. It gives you the fiber. It fills up your stomach, keeps you fuller. It keeps your mental in check. It keeps you from diving into highly palatable foods that can change your relationship with food. That is the main reason. Of course, there's like all the micronutrient and vitamin reasons, but the point is just being a person who becomes routine at eating vegetables a couple meals per day just makes staying in shape easier. Kind of takes away a big question mark for you. Number 13, don't buy foods that tempt you. Save them for times not at home. We talked about this. I forget which podcast it was, but somebody was saying that they like to eat ice cream, but they make themselves go, I think it was Adam maybe, they make themselves only have ice cream when they take the family out for ice cream down at the ice cream shop in town. All it does is reduce the frequency with which you eat ice cream, which makes staying in shape easier.
If you have to drive to get it, it's tougher.
Right. And I think a lot of people are like, oh, that's like a Debbie Downer thing to say, like, because I like ice cream. I want to have it in the house. Okay. It's going to make it harder for you to stay in shape than if you decide to do that. If you want to make it easier, go ahead and have those less nutritious foods so that you don't build up all this anticipation and like flip the switch and go binge on it. But just go have it in an environment where you're not having to decide every single day, am I going to resist the ice cream today or am I going to have it? Okay. Sorry, ice cream. You're not going to sponsor us after that little rant. Number 14, limit restaurants to 1 time per week. Guys, if we had to probably pick one thing that has made our fitness journey easier is limiting the amount of restaurants that we eat at. There is simply, I'm going to go bold here. There's simply no way to include a lot of restaurant meals in your life and avoid gaining weight. And I'm not saying you can't go out, but limit the frequency. For the same reason you limit like how many days per week you have a protein bar. It's the same thing. It just helps you keep your total calories in check, which is going to keep your body weight from just creeping up slowly over time. And it actually just makes you enjoy the experience of going out to eat more. We could have thrown in here too, like, don't pick up takeout food and bring it home. I guess that's still limiting restaurant meals, but DoorDash, drive-through, pizza delivery, all that kind of stuff. Limit this stuff. They're giant calorie bombs that are making your life harder.
Right. Like last night we rolled in here. We had some unexpected issues with travel. We got here much later than we anticipated. I picked up my mom. We went to the grocery store. We each got a rotisserie chicken for the families. We brought the rotisserie chickens back home, and we had like whatever each person made with the rotisserie chicken, and that was such a healthier alternative than going and driving through the McDonald's and getting burgers for everybody.
Yeah. Why'd you buy so many bell peppers? You were craving vegetables, weren't you?
I was craving vegetables.
We have this tiny little refrigerator in our camper, and she bought like 9
Well, I didn't realize that we already had like 7 bell peppers, and I bought like another 7, I think. So we are rich with bell peppers right now.
We're bringing in raccoons off the street over here in the RV park. Hey, you want a bell pepper? Okay, number 15. Consume encouraging and educational content. This goes back to like creating an environment that supports your goals. If you follow a bunch of accounts on Instagram that make you tempted by pastries, unfollow those things. If you have, a podcast that makes you like want to skip your workout, stop listening to that podcast. I can't think of any good example here, but like on the flip side, find podcasts that like support the goals that you have,
that,
like the person that you want to be, that motivates you.
I like to put on like, this is silly, but I like to put on like somebody doing like a CrossFit workout, like a old CrossFit Games video, or just like a lot of CrossFitters like put their stuff on YouTube doing workouts, and like if I feel like, not every day, but if I feel like my motivation is lacking to work out, I will put that on. I see it visually and I'm like, hey, yeah, let's go. And there's just something about it that fires me up.
Yeah. Same thing with like books. Yeah. Like find books about things that you want to learn about. Yeah. Like that one that you want to be better at. Mindset books, relationship books, whatever.
Yeah, we listen to a lot of business podcasts when we travel, and like I feel like we just get so inspired, like, oh my gosh, like I can't wait to work. I can't wait to do this and that and that. Just like inspiring content that like gets you, like I said, like gets you fired up.
You know what else makes me think of is back when we were driving back and forth to Mississippi so many times when your grandpa lived there, was like we would always listen to the Dave Ramsey podcast because like we were trying to get out of debt, and like we were always so fired up, like let's get home and like fine tune our budget and like how much can we save per month. Yeah, but it worked.
It does work. Yeah.
Okay, number 16, limit time with people who sabotage you. Remember, this topic is how to make staying in shape easier. If you are constantly hanging around people, the example is like if you hang around with 4 broke people, you're going to be the 5th. Think about this. You hang around with 4 out of shape people, you're going to be the 5th. Like, other people don't really have your best interest in mind. They might not be purposely trying to sabotage you, but whatever they're doing is going to rub off on you. I got in trouble as a kid because I was hanging around this kid. This is probably when I was, I don't know, maybe like 3rd grade, Baptist household, cussing not allowed. I'm hanging around this kid who cussed like a sailor. He was much older than me, and it rubbed off on me. I went home, accidentally dropped an S or an F-bomb, and got the rod, got the spanking. I was like, shoot, just hanging around this kid, changing my behavior. I think you get the point. If you are trying to cut back on drinking, might be a good idea to get out of the bourbon club. If you're trying to be more consistent with your workouts, might be a good idea to stop hanging out with the people who are going to happy hour instead of going to the gym after work. Enough said on that one. Number 17, find support / accountability.
Higher digital barbell.
Yeah, I don't think we need to say a whole lot about this. Like, everybody knows if you have somebody else in your corner rooting for you, and especially if they're providing you honest and supportive accountability, you're going to be more successful. This is the reason that coaches exist, not just for their expertise, but for the support and accountability too.
And just like a little inside peek of what it feels like to work with a coach is like, when I know that we've made a connection when people like to send us videos of them on vacation, of things they're growing in their garden, of their kids doing something like, and I just like it makes me feel, I think all of the coaches, it makes us feel like, oh, because we know we've made this connection, and that's what it feels like to work with a coach that is like thinking about you daily, like looking out for you, making sure you're getting your workouts in, but also checking on you and making sure you're doing okay.
Yeah.
It's actually a relationship. It's not just somebody like feeding you macros to eat or feeding you workouts to do.
Support is like basically having somebody you can tell, here's what I'm having trouble with, and their job is to help you troubleshoot around that, actually helping you come up with the plan, and then having the accountability to do it. So one of our clients is like, this is what I'm trying to do, but I'm struggling with it. That's great. Like, thank you for your trust. I now have the job and the honor of trying to help you work through that and hold you accountable to being better at it. And that's like it's a great thing. Like, the trust feels good, and to help them overcome those things feels good.
And just little things like, we're coming up on a holiday week. It's 4th of July in the middle of a week this week. I know it's going to be kind of crazy for clients. We all checked in on our clients like, hey, what's your week like next week? How can I help you? Like, are you going to be traveling? Do you need travel workouts? What days can you work out? Like, do we just reach out and we just stay in touch?
Yep. All right. Enough said on that one. Number 18. No, we still got, this is 18.
Sorry. How many are there?
20.
Okay.
Forget failures quickly, make the next right decision, and avoid the all or nothing mentality. I will put a link in the show notes to our episode completely devoted to the all or nothing mentality, but the longer we are in this game, the more I'm convinced that this is the whole enchilada. This is the reason that people start and fail at any of their fitness aspirations, is because they fail to be perfect, and because they cannot be perfect, they throw the whole plan out the window and feel so bad about what they've done that they just completely give up. These could be like 1 week cycles. This could be a decade long cycle, but this is the thing that has to be addressed if you're truly ever going to make staying in shape easy. You have to learn how to desensitize yourself to any little screw up and immediately get right back on track with the next right decision, because it really is that simple. Number 19, prioritize sleep at night versus entertainment. I blame smartphones for this one mostly. I'm sure it's gotten worse since the invention since the invention of short form media. and the instant dopamine hit we get from scrolling TikTok and all these little things that entertain us and just make us want to not go to sleep.
I don't think so. I think people are staying up late on the falling asleep on the couch watching
David Letterman
shows. Yeah, like I gotta watch David Letterman. Yeah, don't blame social media. It's been around. It's always just changed forms.
So if you are struggling to stay in shape in your life, it would be easier if you prioritize sleep instead of entertainment at night. The trickle down effect from sleep is really the main thing. I don't think people think about it enough. Like, they think if I don't get enough sleep, I'm probably going to be a little bit tired. But what you're not thinking about is it's actually going to have a huge effect on your hunger. It's going to have a huge effect on how your brain works the next day. It's going to have an effect on how your body responds to insulin. It's all at the biological level too, not just the fact that you're tired.
I mean, the funny thing is, like, we grow up with our parents and we do this for children. Like, we need them to get to bed at a certain time so that they get up, so that they get enough rest and they're not grumpy the next day.
Yeah.
Like, we all want our children
to trickle down effect.
We all want our children to sleep well so that they can have a good day the next day. Nothing changes as we get older. We just get more stubborn about getting the right amount of sleep.
It's like
we get grumpy the next day if we don't have it.
Remember the Seinfeld bit about like how night guy screws morning guy?
It's true.
That night guy just keeps screwing morning guy.
But it's not
go to bed.
But it's not just morning guy. It's not like I'm groggy until I get my cup of coffee. It does have the trickle down effect, like you said.
2 simple steps for improving your sleep habits. Number 1, get in the bed earlier. Number 2, don't use any devices or television in bed.
I will say though,
it can be as simple as that.
I'm not going to go off on this because I'm not pro like no blue light at night, no
Andrew Huberman stuff.
Like, we don't do that ourselves. I think
that's not true. We meditate for an hour before bed in the dark.
Take a hot shower. I
take a sauna in my cold plunge.
You just have to think. You just have to like thinking about your lifestyle and think about better ways for you to get the right amount of sleep that you need.
Yep. Let's keep it simple, guys. Number 20, last one.
Right.
Monitor your metrics regularly. If you want to make staying in shape easier, there's no better way than making sure you don't get grossly out of shape. And one of the best ways to do that is keep tabs on what in the world is going on with your body.
So this can be your body weight. This can be your measurements. This can be photos. This can be the way clothes fit. This can be the weight that you're lifting.
Comments from your wife.
The weights that you're lifting in the gym.
Yep.
These are all ways to keep track of how you're doing. The times that you're finishing workouts in, that is why we like to time some things and repeat some things. See improvement there.
Did you say strength gains?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. So that's it. That's the 20.
Hurry, there's a boat going by. Wrap it up.
That's our 20 tips to make staying in shape easier. Again, it's not a prescription. Just think about the things that we said. I guess we'll post them in the show notes for this episode. Look at the list. Be like, man, yeah, that's really something I'm kind of suffering in that I could use some improvement on. Commit to doing that thing regularly and getting better at it for the next month. Add another one in. Make them habits. Make staying in shape easier.
All right.
Drop the mic. Hope you guys have a good day. We will catch you next week. I'm not sure if we'll still be on the road or not, but make sure you subscribe before you leave so you don't miss that episode. Have a good day.